All right, everyone, welcome to the weekly dose of woo, where we keep track of the woo so that you do not have to. Let's jump right into Mercury Retrograde. It starts on 7/18, so tomorrow from when we are filming this. It starts on Friday, and it goes till August 11th. So Mercury Retrograde is the shortest retrograde, but it happens the most frequently throughout the year. It is scary and dreadful, and everyone hates it. That is a complete misconception. It's not scary. It's not dreadful. It is what you make of it. And it can be a clusterfuck if you allow it to be a clusterfuck. You have to remember that you are the one who has the power. You are the one who can change this and make it work for you. And there are 3 things that we need to focus on to do that. The first one, and by far the most important, is communication. During Mercury retrograde, communication gets messed up. People will misunderstand you. People will jump to conclusions. People will not respond to you in a timely manner, and you will do the same. So how would you combat this? 1, be very articulate. Be very aware of what you are saying. Be very careful with picking your words. Over-explain whenever possible without being obnoxious about it. The other thing is to always ask for clarification. Instead of jumping to conclusions during Mercury retrograde, you're just going to ask, hey, what did you mean by that? Or could you go into more depth? Or I would just like to follow up with, be able to ask questions to make sure that you are understanding everything the way it is meant and not the way your ego or Mercury retrograde wants to interpret it. Not a wise choice. Not a way to keep friends. That burns bridges. Jumping to conclusions burns bridges, like Evel Knievel. The next thing, number 2, is technology. This simply means that technology may be on the fritz. I've been on Zooms that it's like people can't sign in quite right and they're not finding their buttons right away. Just be patient. Be patient with this. If a link doesn't work, email someone and ask for an updated link. Leave voicemails. Give people a little bit of extra time to respond just in case their devices aren't working. My watch has rebooted so many times that it's like, why? How? I have no clue. But it's Mercury retrograde. So it's just going to keep like off and then on and just do that apparently like peekaboo for the next few weeks, which is fine because now that I know that it's Mercury retrograde, I'm going to be more patient with my technology and I'm going to double check my technology to make sure that my emails are going out, my invoices are going out, follow up with people through technology just in case they miss the text message, which is happening a lot already at the beginning of the retrograde. Several people have missed business opportunities because they thought someone responded and they didn't, or they didn't hit send. And don't miss out on that business opportunity. Don't miss out on that financial money movement. If it's that, just check all the technology. Just don't be paranoid about it, but check. And a side tangent with this before we get to number 3 is, again, Mercury retrograde is not about catastrophizing. It is not about sitting here and being like, oh, this could go wrong. So the story that I always tell is years ago, it was Minnesota winter. It was super slippery. I had just gotten my first SUV. I was used to driving small cars. I was in a big SUV. And I was in Minneapolis in a really tight parking spot where I had to like back up a bunch and go forward to try and get out of the parking spot to get on the road. And the person in the driver's seat was screaming at me, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde. We're going to crash. Oh my God. Guess what happened? We got in an accident. Guess why? Not Mercury retrograde. It was because she was screaming at the driver in Minnesota winter when the roads are covered in ice. That's what caused it. And then she's like, see, I told you. Don't be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Don't make your life harder than it has to be just because it's a time of year. Astrology is a blueprint, a roadmap in which you can navigate your life and make it better. It is not meant to screw you over or cock block your success. It is meant to move forward with mindfully. So, number 3 is travel. A lot of people find travel very hard, or there's a lot of travel snafus during Mercury retrograde. And so with this, it is slow down, be very methodical, again, be patient. Big things about Mercury retrograde, the 2 biggest tips about Mercury retrograde that I can give is slow down and be patient, double check everything. That's the easiest way to get through Mercury retrograde. Don't take anything personally, and just make sure that everything is taken care of before you do it, when you do it, and usually after you do it. So that's only 3 times, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's only a few weeks of Mercury retrograde that you have to do this. It's okay. So those are the 3 things. Communication, technology, and travel are the 3 big ones that people need to worry about. And communication can also mean like contracts and leases and loans and stuff. So it's those kinds of communication that also need to be focused on during this time, just to make sure that you have all your bases covered throughout it. It's, if you use Mercury retrograde to your advantage, it can be so cool. So the way to use Mercury retrograde to your advantage, to win the game of astrology, and therefore win the game of life. Remember, everything in a retrograde, no matter the planet, has RE, re. And then it's re for whatever aspects are within that planet. So redo, rewrite, revise, revisit, all of those RE words. So you're not doing new things with Mercury retrograde in communication, travel, technology. You are reviewing, revising, rewriting contracts and communication. You are reviewing, rewriting all of the stuff that you're doing for travel. You're not starting new, you're redoing things. You're rewriting, you're revising. And that is the easiest way to win at this, is to use that method. A really good example is I have an amazing client who made an app for his community, for his whole community to use. And there's about 3,000 people in the community, right? And he made an announcement at an event that it's like, oh, in the next week, the app will go live. And I am sitting there shaking my head so hard that like my cheeks jiggled. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It was Mercury retrograde. I'm like, please don't. Like, just wait. It's not, the new is not ready to launch. How about you new in a few weeks? And actually the app was delayed and it was able to go live after Mercury retrograde, and it has been amazing and everyone loves it and people are so happy with it because they worked out all of the kinks during Mercury retrograde as they revised it to be able to launch it. So you could save yourself millions of dollars just like he did by honoring what Mercury retrograde is meant to be, which is communication, technology, travel, to rewrite, redo, reframe, and go forth and just keep that in mind as you are super patient with yourself and others and you double check everything. Be the hero of your own story. Remember, Weekly Dose of Woo is every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Zoom, right over there. And we love talking about everything woo and zodiac and manifesting. And we hope that you join us in this membership as soon as possible.